Love and slack from someone named Zach. I'm out here picking salal berries, and I see a bunch of really ripe, decent flushes of them over here. I'm gonna talk about a couple concerns before I show you what I'm gonna do. These plants are sought after by florists, and that causes people to poach them. They might not seem like a substantial plant, but as far as undergrowth goes, they're probably 40 to 60% of the undergrowth out in the woods out here. And in that respect, people are poaching them to the point where they won't make beautiful flush berries like this. And I know the people that are doing it aren't going to watch this video. I just wanted to make other people aware of it so that if they see people doing this during seasons that they shouldn't, that I don't know. I wouldn't encourage people to tell other people what to do, but it just feels economically and ecologically irresponsible. I mean, if they're trying to make money off this, they want to make sure this sticks around. Quit trying to smother it to death. And it'll be around so that they can seasonally pick it for decades into the future. Otherwise, this stuff's going to start dying off and not being around. It's really thin out here, but I'm finding areas where there's flush berries. I'm picking about 2 gallons. I'm out here in Banner Forest, which is about 1,000 to 1,100 acres total, I believe. These berries, recognize them by salal. To recognize the salal bush, top leaves are semi waxy, not waxy, but they shine the light better than the underneath their leaf, which is a lot more matte and dull. The leaves themselves have astringent properties, so if you get bit by mosquitoes, and you can find a place where you can ecologically harvest them, you can make a balm with the leaves, and it's good for like mosquito bites or burns that are swollen. You can make tea for it if you have an upset gut. Helps the swelling diminish inside the stomach and the small intestines. I wouldn't suggest doing these things until you know your reaction to the plant. I'd never suggest people just go out and pretend like this stuff is their personal medicine. I'm speaking statistically. Research has shown that statistically these things work this way. You are part of a statistic, but you could be an outlier there, so pay attention and do what's safe for you, please. That being said, the proper way to pick salal berries, because they show up on a stem in strings, is to bring scissors, because these things are sticky and will stain your fingers. And I just come out, and at the base of where the berries begin, I just snip it, and you can see they're dark purple. They're very rich in antioxidants. As far as like how they rate among other berries, there's like one blueberry that is more richer in antioxidants. I like to call them the acai of the Northwest, but they're not that high in antioxidants. I like to make what's called what I call a salal butter. Their skins are they're pectin rich, and so you cook them. When you cook them down, you take a hand blender and you emulsify them, and they'll get this texture like apple butter. And so that's why I call it salal butter, except it's so purple, it's black basically, and they have like a flowery, raisiny taste to them. I just wanted to introduce them to people. I know some of you are all going to tell me they're poisonous. They're not. I've been eating these for years. And if they are poisonous, it's like iocane powder where you can just develop a tolerance to it. That being said, some of the other ways that they can be enjoyed is like putting them in pancakes. Instead of blueberries, you put salal berries. The way to prepare them at home, I soak them in salt water for about a good half hour. And then I start taking them off the stem. And because you can see like the bottom of them, I don't know how, I'm not on the other side of the camera, so I can't see how well it's focused on this. their stamen stays in them from the flower, and if you don't remove that, whatever your preserves you're making is going to taste slightly grassy. So they're kind of tedious to prepare for preserves, but they're good berries. I like them. Again, make sure you're doing the ecological thing. I'm not out here decimating the berry population. They're not popular to pick for berries, so I'm fairly certain the berries that I'm picking are probably going to be 60 to 80% of the berries that are going to be picked in these woods. So, love and slack from someone named Zach. I've already got a small crew, or a small group of berries started. I'm going to pick the rest of these right here. I just noticed that they're photogenic, so I decided to set up a video and show you guys. Talk to you later. If you like this kind of content, like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Project Eden for Facebook. And like the video, it also helps there. And I'm also on TikTok. Like and follow. Love and slack from someone named Zach. Talk to you guys later.